Hey everybody, Pixel here, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Kirby Superstar Ultra. I really didn't know what I was going to Let's Play next, because my plan was Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulation. Not Trials and Tribulation, Justice for All, but that game is being released for PC next year, so I'd rather do the PC version just for ease of recording and just so more people will be able to play along. So I did a poll, and Kirby Superstar Ultra won against redoing Undertale, New Super Mario Bros. DS, Stardew Valley, and Shovel Knight. So here we are. I'm in a 2D platformer kind of mood right now, I guess. So this is, I believe, either the second or third DS game I ever played. So I like to think I know it very well. However, this won't be going for 100% for a reason that you will see later. But for right now, let's switch the border up a little bit. Alright, so this border looks a bit plain. Hopefully we'll be getting something better soon. But let's start the game. Kirby 1. One-player adventure, please. So as you can see here, we have these sub-games: Snack Tracks, Kirby on the Draw, Kirby Card Swipe, and that's it. We aren't going to be touching those, no pun intended. Right now we're just going to go into Spring Breeze. All the food in Peaceful Dreamland has been stolen. This must be the work of King Dedede. This game is easy fun. It's simple enough for new players to enjoy. And we can't touch any of the other ones that are on the screen right now, so let's just go into Spring Breeze. New game, please. There's trouble in Dreamland. King Dedede and his soldiers have stolen all the food in Dreamland. Here comes our hero riding in on the Spring Breeze. Some call him Kirby. Let the adventure begin. It is not my first time, but I will say it is for the people whose first time it is. Welcome to the beginner show. We'd like to quickly explain the rules of Kirby Superstar Ultra here. This is the main character you control, Kirby. Thanks. He's a pretty jolly guy. So you should know that Kirby can fly in the air and inhale his enemies. Press the A button to jump. And if you keep pressing it, Kirby will hover gently. That's how he flies. When you press the B button, Kirby will inhale his enemies. Once you've inhaled a foe, press the B button again, and you spit the foe back out. Or if you press the X button or down on the control pad, you swallow the foe. Nothing happens when you swallow a normal foe, but if you swallow a foe who has a special ability, Kirby will copy its special ability. This is Kirby's special move. It's called his copy ability. You can use the copy ability by pressing the B button. You'll see many abilities to copy in this game. Try to find them all. Now for the main event. When Kirby has a copy ability, you can press the X button to call a helper. The helper acts as a good buddy to Kirby. A helper usually moves on its own. It will fight on its own as well. Using local wireless, you can have a pal play as the helper in a co-op game. Because exploring with a friend is always more fun. Oh, and if you want to get rid of the helper you called, press the X button to use the normal beam to turn it into an item. Lastly, here are a few special moves you may not know about. First is the dash. Press the control pad twice quickly, and Kirby will dash in that direction. Next is a slide. Press the A button or the Y button down on the control pad to slide. Also, you can protect yourself by guarding. Press the L or R button. When foes attack you, they'll cause less damage. Lastly, to enter a door, stand in front of it, and then press up on the control pad. You'll go right in. Use these to move between stages. That's all. That's a lot to process, but just try it out, and you'll master everything. So let's start Kirby Superstar Ultra. First, let's talk about Spring Breeze. You need to teach that King Dedede a lesson. So here we are. Green's the first stage. As you can see, we already have a special enemy with a copy ability. This is Beam Kirby. All the copy abilities have their own special moves. There's more than one for each one, as you can see. If you hold down B with Beam, you'll use this special beam. If you move forward while using Beam in the air, you'll do that. If you just don't move in the air and use the Beam ability, you'll just do your normal thing for the ground. And if you dash and use it on the ground, you get this. I don't know what this is, but you can do it. And as it said in the tutorial, you press X, you can make a partner using it. I don't use these very often just because they kill things that you want to suck up. But, you know what, there are a few times where they are helpful, times you will be seeing. As it said, you can also use multiplayer. This is also in the original version for the Super Nintendo, but I'm playing the DS version because it's better in every way. As you can see, I am struggling a little bit here, just because I'm focusing more on the capture than the actual screens, but hopefully this turns out alright. This game is very easy, Spring Breeze. This is the easiest game, and it's actually kind of an abridged version of the first Kirby game, Kirby's Adventure. I say abridged because there's less levels, but overall, it goes through the same basic levels. It has the same bosses, like area bosses, and yeah. If you pick up food, you can, I don't know if it's a smooch or like bird feeding too, but you can share it with your partner, and then that'll heal them as well. Yeah, so Final Cutter, or just Cutter, I guess, is, I guess, a lot of people's favorite ability. I don't really understand why. Now, I will concede that when I first played this game, I had no idea that Final Cutter was a move it could do, which is a very cool looking move, and you'll probably recognize it from Smash Bros. That's what you saw earlier. But I'm not a huge fan of Cutter. I just find it very, like, plain. You can throw these boomerangs and you can do Final Cutter, but other than that, like, there's not much to it. These boomerangs aren't even that effective, as you can see. But we've already taken out our first boss before I even got to talk about it. Wispy Woods, he can shoot out air at you. That will do a little bit of damage. He can make apples fall. Those will deal damage. And that's pretty much it. He's not too threatening, and if you take him out in a few minutes, then he's not a problem. Float Islands. This is where we get to see one of my favorite abilities. I'm not gonna say I actually have a favorite ability because I really don't, but Fighter, damn it. Okay, if you get two things, depending on the situation in which you got two things, first of all, if you suck up two enemies with an ability at the same time, you'll get randomized what ability you get, not between those two, but between every ability in the game. But if you suck up an item in an enemy, you'll just get whatever the item has. I think that's stupid. I honestly would prefer if it just gave you the randomized, but this is Fighter Kirby. As you can see, it's literally just Ryu. Now, they didn't go too crazy with referencing Ryu in Superstar Ultra or Superstar originally, actually, but if you've played the Magic Mirror, They went a bit crazy there. Probably because that game was, I think, developed by Capcom, but still, they went a little crazy. You can get this invincible candy. This makes you invincible, and you will take out most enemies in one hit. I say most because as we walk in here, we have Mr. Frosty. He's literally he's a joke boss in this game because you get the invincible candy. I'm going to make a partner out of you so I can show off Freeze Kirby. Of course, I will only be able to show off, not Freeze, I think it's just Ice in this game. Is it? Yes. Okay, so Ice Kirby freezes enemies and then can throw those ice cubes at his enemies. It's pretty simple, but it's actually one of the better abilities in the game just because some of his moves are super cool. Like this one. Of course, you still take damage while you're doing that. That's not a shield or anything, but it does do a lot of damage, and it can keep enemies away from you most of the time. I keep killing bosses before I get a chance to talk about them. Lolo and Lala, or Lolo and Lala, I don't know what it is, but they will move across the screen coming out of random doors carrying boxes or Gordos. Gordos are the spiky things that you can't kill. They can do a lot of damage, but they're relatively easy to beat. As soon as you take out one of them, the other one is very predictable and easy to beat. Oh, Knuckle Joe. Why were you in Sis Trophy? Stage 3, Bubbley Clouds. There is a secret in this level. A secret that I don't really think most people knew about until recently, but now that they do, it's relatively light. But here we are with Sword Kirby. This is a lot of people's favorite as well, and I don't really blame them for this one. Kirby is literally just Link from The Legend of Zelda here. He has the green hat, he has the sword, he has pretty much anything you could ever need to be Link from The Legend of Zelda. If you're at full health, like Link from The Legend of Zelda, you can shoot sword beams. That's very helpful. It does actually a surprising amount of damage, but you can only do it while you're on the ground. You can, of course, duck to get out of the way of that cutter if you think you're in the way. I don't know if that could have actually hit me. These chickens can fly after you if you go over them. Here's the mini-boss of Bubbley Clouds, Kracko Jr. He does that thing where he goes under the screen, he can spawn Waddle Doos to do damage to you, but he's not too threatening. On this Warp Star, where do we end up? Okay, this room. Fuck this room. Okay, as you can see, there are a lot of enemies in here. If you try to cut through these boxes, which you actually have to do to beat the level, you can get food, but also those enemies will drop down and they will deal damage to you because they land on top of you. I think that's stupid. These sunflowers are the worst part of the room, though. Take them out before they are able to do that, because if they capture you, they will do damage over time, and that's just a pain to deal with. You can get a Maxim Tomato down there. Those heal your HP completely. This room is kind of asshole-ish, but it's not too bad. If you suck up that Waddle Doo, you actually get, with the Parasol, you actually get a different ability, Parasol, but I don't want to get that because this is not the game where you really want Parasol. There are moments in the game where you're going to want Parasol. Spring Breeze is not one of them, but if you head up here, a cow jumps over the moon, and that's supposed to be your hint that you can walk into the moon. You can find food as you fall down, which is why I recommend that you just float down gently like this. There's a peach, there's more grapes. What is with the grapes? Chicken. I believe there's a one up here too. Yes, okay. And after that, chicken, peach, grapes, peach. Okay, I'm done. I don't need any more food. I'm at full health. But if you suck that up, you get Sleep Kirby. All that does is make you sleep for a few seconds, and you don't get an option of when to use it, so... if you suck up two things at the same time, you actually get those double stars. They do more power, and they go through enemies instead of ending when they hit something. This is Bonkers. He's our... I think this is the first example of a level having two mini-bosses, actually, but... Bonkers is completely optional, but you get Hammer Kirby if you suck him up. And this is one of the best Kirbys in the game. And you also get a move that Kirby gets in Smash, so that's cool. If you press up while also using the hammer ability, you can do that. It deals a lot of damage, but it's hard to hit enemies. As you can see, we're now fighting Krakow Sr. Krakow's pretty tough. He does electrical damage when you hit him. He does that raining attack. Those also do electrical damage. And yeah, he's pretty tough for a third boss, but once again, very easy to take out. Let's do our little dance. And let's get after DDD. I just wanted to let you hear that music for a little bit because this is actually legitimately a good song, and I don't think it's ever been in Smash Bros. Or anything, so... the reason I got Hammer there, because normally I would not, is because it's fair. And we have the credits already. Spring Breeze, easiest game in the game, of course, it's a sub-game, but that's it. Spring Breeze was really short. On a normal playthrough, this would only take me like 30 minutes. It only took me 20 for this one, and I also showed the tutorials, so yeah, this was easily the shortest run I've ever had of this game. But I'll let you watch the credits because these CG cutscenes that they added in the DS version of this game are like oddly funny. You can now play Dynablade, Gourmet Race, and the Great Cave Offensive. We will be doing these in that order, so next time on Kirby Superstar Ultra, we're going to be beginning Dynablade. There is a reason for that being blacked out on your screen. Never mind, it's not blacked out on your screen. Whatever. If I was playing the original Kirby Superstar, it would be. See you guys next time. Bye!